Hello friends, I am making this video to share with you some information that I, I collect from other sources, and it's basically called Times Have Changed. I wrote this article as part of my uh, friendly emails with a school, and I laugh a little bit because it was very funny because still some teachers uh, feel, I guess, a little offended with my words. But I want that you judge by yourselves. So I'm gonna read it for you. I sent this email to a school. I'm not gonna say the name of the school because I really respect them and I think they're super. It's a super cool school actually. So I'm not gonna say the name. uh, and I sent this. Is like probably February before the pandemic. Um, Times have changed, and they will be changing. Times have changed, but not for education. 100 years ago, classrooms were exactly they look today. Everyone sit down properly. Everyone paying attention. Get communications, for instance. 100 years ago, communication was letters or telegraph. Today, those means are almost gone because we have the smartphones and etc. But then, what happened with education? 100 years ago, teachers yelled at crying students, sometimes hit. Today, they keep doing the same, except for the hitting. No matter the reason, they still yell. They still get exasperated. So, what has it changed for real? 100 years ago, bullies and indisciplined kids were hit or punched or punished in weird ways. Today is worse. At least 100 years ago, you knew what was going on, and it just happened. I lived that. I am now 50, and I still when I was in school, I lived those punishments, physical punishment, with a ruler, with the sticks, with a hand. And but today kids they suffer worse. Why? Today kids are labeled as hyperactive, bipolar, deficit of attention. And here's the controversy. This is where my colleagues, the other teachers, they say that I am a complete ignorant because I haven't studied this DSM, you know, the Diagnostic and Statistics manual from the Psychiatry Association of America, which they consider is a kind of Bible for behavior. Nothing further from the truth. And I'm sure that some people watching this video, whether you guys are professional or not, um, it's not about the degrees. I mean, the diploma. I'm sorry if I didn't say correctly. The diplomas, the master degrees. The paperwork that you can get from a nice college or university. It's about what you live every day in the classroom, what you live every day in your house if you have kids. Okay? So, with all respect to the rest of the guys, to the psychiatrists or psychologists, but for me, the ADD and the ADHD are just invented syndromes, invented by some uh, top psychologists or top psychiatrists with the only purpose of billing. Today, the consequences of labeling kids, uh, those consequences are irreversible. For instance, a kid too happy is labeled ADHD. Solution? Riddle. It's horrible. You just destroy this kid's life with a solution like that. 100 years ago, you had to accept whatever the teacher says and orders. Today, it's pretty much the same scenario. A student wants to express an opinion, he or she receives a punishment. A simple, please be quiet, is suppressing, what they want to say. It's really disappointing having a prison of belief as a system where hypocrisy and public relations are the only facade we see. Real education should be, for me, freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of mm, control of the emotions. I would put it in that way. I put it here in a wrong way. I would put it freedom of expressing my emotions naturally, flow from teachers to students and from students to teachers. Why the educational system we have today is creating this crystal bubble which forces kids to memorize and memorize so they can throw up the information into a test. SAT, TOEFL, IELST, whatever, KET, PET. Why? Since when this is practical? Is it about political favors? Is it true that somebody somewhere in Europe or in the States are controlling everything? Who give a damn, really? Some people maybe they're gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna allow to comment this video. No, they're gonna say I am a complete ignorant, but who gives a damn about Illuminati or any of those guys? When you see, I am a teacher and I see every day the real needs of the kid. You see, for me, it's important that in Europe or whoever somebody is controlling the world as if we were puppets. I don't know, and I don't care. This is not a secret anymore. Probably it's true. But really, when you are in the middle of the nowhere, trying to reach these kids, and I've been there. No, not in London, not in Moscow, not in New York. No, in the middle of nowhere, in a little village in Thailand, in a little village in Colombia, in the middle of the nowhere in Siberia, with little kids that they just want to learn. They don't care about these top groups that they pretend to control the world. Call me whatever you want, but my concern are the kids. So, is it about politics? Is it an international? Excuse me, I'm going to repeat that. Is it an international mafia in the education system? What's wrong with education? Don't you wonder? Don't you ask yourself? Me, yes. Recently, I saw a video about a teacher and then some other teachers resigning from district schools in the States. Actually, in these days, in the middle of the pandemic. And what happened? What's wrong with education? Why somebody there somewhere in a top area insists to control education, even in these days? And this is for you, teacher, you as me, that you get your sleeps and put those guys to work online, offline, with coronavirus or not. You were there as me 20, 30 years ago. So this is for you. teacher, principal, school owner, parent, students. You got the power to change things. It is risky. Hell yeah. But you, my friend, will be remembered as that brave guy who challenged the system and, in fact, did something about it. Start with yourself. Change your mind. Stop being a robot. Stop, stop just presenting paperwork that some lame coordinator needs. Stop with that. We don't need that anymore. You see that uh, the more paperwork we're gonna be better, the more certifications, IB, and this and that, Montessori, and this and that, or others. No offense to those guys. I mean, they're doing great. They're doing something good. But when in the moment that when IB, for example, or the Montessori system, or even others, when they go too far with the robotronic thing and with the paperwork, you know, it's like it's like dance with no music. You see? So start with yourself. Change your mind. Stop being a robot. And remember, outside the school walls, there's a hard world. And these days is really hard. So our kids, they need to live in a crystal bubble. They don't need that. They need real education for the real world. Whether it's a virtual world, anyways. They need it. They need to know what is happening these days. They need to know how to survive in this virtual world if we don't know what's going to happen, if the coronavirus is going to disappear or not in the next 2 or 3 years. What you going to do? Keep learning about, you know, this and that and this and that. Come on, you need to change education according to the needs. What we need to know now about Zoom, about social media, virtual business. So you really need the education that is necessary in these days. I also recommend books. In this particular email that I sent to this school, I recommend what is now a classic, The Secret, from the Australian lady Rhonda Byrne. And this is the kind of books that still, if you see in Wikipedia and those places, there's still people saying that this is just a scam, don't believe in that, that doesn't exist. It's not about that. Try it. Read it. It's not, actually I have it here, it's not really a fat book. You see, it's kind of packet book. Read it. A couple of days. Then throw it to the garbage or keep it. Use it or leave it. Nobody's pointing you with a gun and saying you have to do this. No. But read it. Some people are still reading Adolf Hitler. My Fight is the name of the book. Sorry if I don't recollect the proper name. And yes, I haven't read it. I don't feel interested in reading a book um, written by a person who ordered the death of more than 6 million people. Okay, criticize me, whatever, but I won't do it. So if you have the time to read that sort of books and others, give it a try to these ones. Okay, so please stop seeing life as a horrible task. I know it's very hard these days to say that, but my reference is a movie, La Vida è Bella. La Vita è Bella, sorry, my Italian is not really good. La Vita è Bella, Roberto Benigno. Beautiful movie. So life is an adventure. Feel it like that and ask yourself, can I live better? Can I do my life? Can I make my life better? Take it easy. Okay? God bless you. Take care.